Welcome everyone to the Culture Cast. And as you may see, I'm all on my lonesome tonight. Unfortunately, family circumstances got in the way for Tubbs, so he will be back next week. So not to worry about it. I will steer the ship, hopefully, in some sort of direction this evening. I do still have a schedule of stuff to go through, which I am going to go through. But first of all, I want to welcome everyone to the stream. Damien says, evening all, villain list sounds fun. Yes, I have 20 that I'm going to get through here tonight. And I will do this again next week when Tubbs is here. So yeah, Damien says, we will keep you company, Brian. No worries. Thank you. And I will do my best to keep you all entertained by myself. Jonathan Redmond says, good evening all. Good evening, Jonathan. Great to have you back again this week. And yeah, so episode 16, Brian goes it solo. What have we got this week? Well, first, I want to start out. We can see more of your collection. Look, if you can, hold on, I'll try and move, seeing as we're here on our own. Let's have a look at the rest of the room. And as you can see behind me, there's 3 or 4 shelves back there. And if you go over here, I'm trying not to knock shit, so I have a Detolf there. That's full of Dragon Ball and Star Wars. And behind me over here, 3 more shelves. And also, I got a new shelving unit. Actually, was over here. Let's go around this side, the side you guys can never see. So we've got like Power Rangers, my big fat head out of the way, TMNT, and a video game shelf. And I did get another bookshelf today, which was, I'm not going to lie, a pain in the arse to put together. But yeah, Mikey Casey, need a last minute co-host. Mikey, if you want to jump on, I'm more than. And also, guys, this goes for future episodes as well. If anybody wants to jump on in the chat, just pop me a quick message on Facebook or any of the links here, or even in the chat, and I will sort that out for you. So, Mikey, if you want to jump on, be my guest. Drop me a message in Facebook. Jay Horgan says, hello. Hello, Jay. How are you, buddy? Glad to have you on the show. Yes, Damien. I only got Mysterio actually last week. The retro one. He's absolutely class. I have to agree with you there. He could do with a clock cape, though. So, yeah, I don't know. He's pretty cool to me. So, yeah, this week's show and tell, I've only got 2 things. Well, I actually have 3, but I want to show you this first. So this, hold on so you can see. So this girl has been in AEW for a long, long time, and she's peg warming to hell. And I got her in Smith's. She was gone down in price. I hadn't planned on buying her first. As I said in my review that I'm not filmed fully yet, this figure actually looks like a bit of a Muppet or something. I don't know. It's something that really puts me off. And that title belt as well looks like a bad penny. But cool to get her for $15. So I can't complain too much. Now, one for the G.I. Joe collectors out there. I know you're all going to be going hype over this. I did get Major Blood, who people have been going crazy for lately. And I can see why. He's absolutely awesome. There's like a mix of Chuck Liddell and Nick Fury, and just overall badass. So delighted to get him. And yeah, now there is one more thing, just one more thing. Now I'm only going to show you the box because I haven't got it assembled yet. But I did pick up this week in my local Smith's toy store the Masters of the Universe Origins Castle Grayskull, and it is every bit awesome as it looks. I will have a review of that up on my page, up on my channel, on the channel in a couple of days or so. But yeah, guys, that has been my gets for the week. Damien looks like a wimpy waitress. Yes, she actually does. That is a really good that's a really good description of poor old Riho. But yeah, she was like, I think the first or maybe second AEW women's champion, and she's been peg warming like hell. And yeah, I just picked her up because I think I do have all the other figures in that series. So it's a shame to be just missing one. And yeah, so second out. Things are all falling out of my hands here. See, usually Tubbs takes up this dead air with all these waffle. Sorry, Tubbs. So figure news this week. So you'll all be aware, you might have seen my video last night of Marvel Legends. They unveiled a Wolverine 5-pack, which included Callisto, it included Mastermind, it included a new Omega Red, and help me out here, folks. It was, I know I have this somewhere, a new Omega Red. See, I do keep notes. And a shirtless Wolverine and Cyber. That was it. So guys, I want to know your thoughts on that. I know I did a video about it last night, but for the guys who weren't here and haven't seen it, I'm going to throw up a picture now of that. Da, 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 da. Now, I myself, I'm not too bothered about it. It's pretty cool, if I'm honest. And I can see where people might lose their shit, but they're 5 really good figures. I have the old Omega Red myself, so that doesn't really bother me. But other than that, like I don't have 4 of those. Like, I know shirtless Wolverine isn't great, but yeah, I don't know. It's not bad. Let's look at the pictures here. Here it is in box, which looks really, really good. Like, if it's a Wolverine set, there obviously is better choices in there. But hold on. And that actually doesn't look too bad. I like the scrapes and stuff on it. Callisto looks badass, has to be said. And even Mastermind, Jason Wingard, looks good. So yeah, pretty cool. And Wolverine one does come with a scraped face as well. Omega Red comes with 2. So I don't see why people are getting so pent up about it. If you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. Plot twist, imagine that. Damien, Cyber. Jonathan, the issue with the 5-pack is none of the figures are amazing or must-haves. I kind of half agree with that. Yeah, agreed. None of them are must-haves. But like there are like collectors like myself and others who do want the likes of Cyber and Callisto and Mastermind. And this is probably the only way to get them. And to have 3 figures like that, I know someone, like, that's me. I know everybody won't want the 3 of them, but the majority of the people who I've seen, they've complained about Wolverine and Omega Red, which is fine to me. The problem I have with it is the price. Now there's a shop over our side of the pond called, and I won't name them actually, but they're charging £135 for it, which works out at about $150, $160. Now that is way too expensive in my opinion. I would not pay that for it. But when it does drop on Amazon UK eventually, I definitely will probably pick it up. Just to have those 3. And you can always sell Omega Red and sell Callisto. Or not Callisto, sell the shirtless Wolverine if you don't want it. Like, I think looking at my own collection, I only have hmm, 3 different Wolverines, and one of them is the movie one of them is the Tiger Stripe, and one of them is the Age of Apocalypse. So they're all different. They're not like the same character, really. So I have no problem having another one. As for characters who could have went in that set, Sabretooth, who is long overdue. They could have put in another repaint of the Silver Samurai. They could have put in Mystique, who is rare as rocking horse poop at the moment. Deadpool, but if they put in Deadpool, people would have been going crazy too. They could have easily made a Weapon X set out of it, you know. William Stryker, who they haven't done. Dakin. Could have put in a Hand Ninja. Could have been Viper, Romulus. There's loads of choices they could have made. Again, I think getting 3 out of 5 right, maybe 4 out of 5. Not a bad comeback if you ask me. So next on the agenda. Now I know I'm going to rattle through a lot of these because usually you get a second opinion on this as well. But I'm going to do my best here. So, guys, who here has watched MODOK or The Bad Batch? So we'll start talking about Bad Batch. And I have to say, I'm finding it hard to keep watching it. It's very, very poor so far. It started off really well. So Jonathan says, Bad Batch here, not seeing MODOK. So Jonathan, tell us, like, are you finding it as hard as I'm finding it to keep watching it? It's like it started off really well with a really long episode, and then there was the episode with Fennec Shand about 2 weeks ago, and since then I'm finding it a bit of a chore to watch it. Mikey Casey says, I have watched MODOK. Mike Horrigan just saw MODOK. Hey Mikey, how are you? Damien Ristori. I'd only like a Brian Cox William Striker, to be honest. Best version from X2. Yeah, I don't know. Damn, I thought it was just me not being super happy with Bad Batch. Jonathan. Yeah, Jonathan, like there's a few of my mates who've watched this as well. And they're big Star Wars fans, much bigger than me. Not in height, but you know what I mean. They're not big guys, but they're way more into Star Wars than I am. And I'm a pretty big Star Wars fan myself, but I'm finding this a chore to get through. And like I'm glad it's only 20 minutes. If it was a half an hour to 40 minutes, like some of the Marvel shows, oh, I don't know how I get through it. Even the last episode, I watched it, but my eyes were watching it. My brain wasn't taking it in, I don't think. Damien says, gonna watch them eventually, but I saved them for winter. Jonathan says, the show is okay, just okay for an elite clone team. They act like Muppets and do stupid crap every episode. Yeah, that's the thing for me. Like the record, isn't it? He's just dumb for the sake of being dumb, and there should be more to that character than that. You get me? And a lot of there's just nothing. There's nothing bringing me back to them. They're they're characterless or something. Like, should I care? I don't care about any of them. Even the little like 90 compared to 95% of the Clone Wars show, which was epic. Bad Batch is super mediocre. But I think the difference with Clone Wars is you were already invested because you had Obi-Wan, you'd Anakin, you'd Yoda, you've all like the main, the main line characters. Whereas these guys, I think they were in 2 episodes, was it, of season 7 of the Clone Wars, and there's no character development as such. They're clones that aren't bad. That's about it. And they're a team and they're doing something. And then there's the whole let's land on a different planet every week and have a thing, you know. It's very like Monster of the Week show, which Mandalorian did, but did much better. And I know this is an animation, so if this was live action, people would be tearing shreds and strips off of it. I think, in my opinion, if this was a live action show, it would not be getting away with a lot of stuff at some moment. Record does my head in, as does Tech. The so-called smart guy who makes huge errors of judgment every single time. Hunter and Echo plus evil crosshairs are great. Rest is garbage. You see, I think evil crosshairs, they made a massive mistake with him. I think changing him fully to evil so early really messed up what could have been an awesome arc of like having him on the edge, having them with him the whole time, and there's always that powder keg chance that he'll explode and turn bad and attack the others. Whereas now he's just very boring hunting them, and yeah, I don't know. They've made a lot of bad decisions with this show, and it's 16 episodes as well, so it's going to be a long road. But luckily, there's other shows starting, which I will get to in a while. I know you guys, it's in the thumbnail and everything. You know what I'm talking about. But the Bad Batch, yeah, like I even had a chat with Tubbs earlier today, who couldn't make it this evening, and he's in the same boat as me. He's finding it very, very difficult to watch. And around the time the Black Series figures pre-orders dropped, there was a lot of people I know personally that were like, pre-order now. And I thought about it and I was like, I didn't really enjoy those 2 episodes in Clone Wars. They were okay, but not enough for me to rush out and buy these guys. So I didn't. And I think I feel justified with that decision. Crosshair going super dark side evil in the first episode was bad. Should have been the season 1 arc instead of just Omega. Yeah, like they're protecting Omega, and they're like the best scene since the first episode was that speed bike chase with Fennec Shand and Hunter. But it wasn't because of Omega was in trouble or anything. I didn't care about that. It just looked cool. I don't really care for Omega anymore. Is she supposed to be someone, or is she supposed to be connected to someone big in the future? At this point, I would be like, I'll just knock it off and read about it later, because it's just not. Personally, it's not doing it for me. But I will continue to watch it, and talk about it on here, because this is what we do. We talk about the culture of pop and the pop of the culture. And yeah, Star Wars is pop culture. Like, yeah, so Bad Batch. It's a no from me, Bob. So on to MODOK. MODOK is awesome, I have to say. I've been so tempted to go download the whole season, because Hulu in America dropped the whole season when episode 1 came out over here, and we've been drip fed the season. I think we're on, what is it, episode 3 or 4 now, and little guy is just awesome. Damien, you know what I'd absolutely love is a series that focuses on the Cantina patrols of Scum of Villainy. Yeah, that would be really cool. Like Cantina stories. You just have like the barman come in, and then people come in every day, and they're different bounty hunters or scavengers or smugglers or whatever. That's really cool. I like that idea. But back to MODOK for a second. I always loved Robot Chicken and the whole stop motion figures and stuff. It just spoke to me on a million levels. And like the way MODOK, like you could, like I have MODOK up there, and you could look at him and think, oh, what can you do with that character in live action? Not a lot, because he looks crazy and he looks mad. So what they've decided to do in letting Marvel Entertainment do this and making a comedy is just genius. I really love the daughter as well. Is a little MODOK. There's so much good stuff. And super adaptoid as well, just being everything in the house is amazing. And John Hamm as Iron Man. Now, I know you're not seeing him, his face, but my God, does he sound like Tony Stark from the comics that I had in my head as a child. Much more than Downey. And that's a big thing, like, for me to say, because I love Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. But I think John Hamm, if they were ever to recast, which I don't want, by the way, could bring Iron Man back in another universe or something. Also, Mick, good evening again. Good evening, Mick Hoolan. I forgot to read your comment. He said I could never get into Star Wars, to be honest. Oh, how could you not get into Star Wars? No. I bet you were a Trekkie, right? This is always one or the other. Damien said Robot Chicken vibes, so looking forward to MODOK. Damien, check it out. If you've got Disney Plus, it's on there, man. It's really, really cool. And putting up one episode a week, it's really fun. And it's really, really violent. I was so surprised when I put it on the first week that how violent it was. Yeah, like I love the plot of just MODOK's having a really bad week. Yeah, it's so simple, and like sometimes with all these big shows, you have these big, massive, complicated, convoluted plots, and MODOK is just, yeah, it's just a lot of fun. It's a nice palate cleanser if you're having a shitty day. Just watch it and laugh at him just being the worst villain ever. Speaking of villains, da, 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 that's a nice segue onto our main topic of this evening. Now, I do want to talk about Loki as well in a while. I will leave that to last. But my plan for tonight was myself and Tubbs to name our top 20 villains. And I'm going to do that now. Mick says, I don't know, man, it was Transformers, TMNT, or nothing as a kid. Mick, I think I just swallowed any cartoon or TV show that was around when I was a child. That's why I have such a varied amount of things around me. Turtles, Power Rangers, Predator, Alien, TMNT. I know I said that twice now. Spawn, Transformers, He-Man, wrestling, G.I. Joe, everything. I was just a hunger for cartoons and stuff when I was a kid. So, comic villains. Now, my original plan was you're to, would say Tubbs was here, was to pick villains based on their comic stuff. So nothing to do with any of the TV shows or anything. So, like, a lot of people, like, I thought when I was making up this list, oh, Omni-Man. But then I was like, it's just because I've watched the Invincible TV show. I haven't read the comic. So these are just characters I've read in comics. Damien says, GoBots, Thundercats, or Dino Riders for me. Oh, I love GoBots as well. And Thundercats. Centurions too. GoBots and Judge Dredd. I really like Judge Dredd. Mike Casey says, hang on, let me set up the laptop and I can hop on to talk with villains. I love my villains. Okay, guys, so we're going to have a special guest. And Mikey, I will send you the invite to hop on if you give me a moment. So yeah, guys, let me know who your favorite villains are as we go along here. I have some awesome ones. And I think I've got some good left field ones that you won't see coming. And neither will their victims. Okay. So Mikey says, perfect. So guys, Mikey will be dropping in here in a minute. Jonathan says the Invincible comic is awesome, but it gets proper comic book crazy. Will be interested to see if the show stays close to the source material. Now, I have started to read it. I got the first compendium, but pronounce that right for me, compendium. Yeah, so I got the first one and starting to read it. Jeez, my voice is going to that. But I'm starting to enjoy it. I'm taking it easy because I'm kind of half and half whether I want to read on and get ahead of the TV show or not. So yeah, like I absolutely love the show so far. It's better than The Boys, if you ask me. And that was another one. Homelander, I was going to add as well, but I haven't read The Boys comic either. Mike Horgan says the Mekon. Who's that? What's the Mekon or the Mekon? I haven't heard of that, I don't think. I'm going to Google that now, Mike. So the Mekon, that is really cool. Now that is proper old school. And that is a left field choice, I have to say, Mike. Fair play. Like, I hadn't heard of that one. Brian, imagine all the mad stuff that goes into the 80s and 90s comic books. In fact, how it would play out with a super heavy dose of real life. Yeah, like for me, I always thought it was like Peter Parker meets Peter Parker meets Superman. Damien says, my top 20 comic villains: 1, Mysterio; 2, Puppet Master; 3, Warlord Krang, Namor villain; 4, the Penguin; 5, Mad Hatter; 6, Metallo; 7, Scarecrow, who is awesome as well, I have to say. Michael Korvac, number 8. And yeah, Jonathan, I just looked it up on Google. The Mekon is from Dan Dare. Some proper old school comics there. And I will admit, I hadn't heard of it before now. That is really cool. And I like your list so far, Damon. I have to say a lot of kind of streetish villains. A lot of Batman. My cuz I is old. Well, Mike, there's nothing wrong with being old. As long as you wear it, you're fine, you know. So my top 20, which I'll reveal pretty shortly when we have our special guest with us. But I have to say, like, I didn't add any Star Wars characters. I didn't add any Transformers characters. I've read a lot of those in the comics, so I could have easily had Megatron or Darth Vader or Unicron or Lord Sidious or Darth Maul. All these guys, I know I'm dragging up on a lot of Star Wars characters, but I've read a lot of Star Wars comics and they've all been in it, but I tried to stay away from guys who are kind of better known for their televisual appearances. So yeah. Also, while we're here, so Netflix's brand new show from Mark Miller, Jupiter's Legacy, was cancelled. Now, myself and Tubbs joked at the start when it started up that we would try and get as far as we could with watching it. I got to about episode 3. I don't think he watched any of it, and now it's been cancelled. So, guys, welcome Mikey Casey to the chat. He is dropping on by.
What's happening?
Mikey Casey, welcome to the Culture Cast, my friend.
What's the crack, man? Great to be here.
Good.
As soon as I saw you were talking about villains, said I gotta hop on.
Excellent. So I don't know if you heard, I was just saying there to the chat that I've tried to stay away from villains that were in TV shows as well as comics.
Yeah.
So I haven't used Megatron, Darth Vader, etc., etc.,
Yeah,
etc. So I have 20, and they're all like just known for their comic appearances. So do you want to drop some first, or will I go?
I don't mind. I mean, like, I think it's funny because I definitely know who your favorite villain is, and I think you know who my favorite comic villain is. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So I'll just read some of the comments first before I start. Jonathan Redmond says Judge Death, Orlok, Venom, Doc Ock, Green Goblin. I have a feeling we'll be covering some of these.
Yeah.
Apocalypse, Doctor Doom, Mr. Sinister, Joker, and Galactus. Well, like that's just an all-star wave right there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna hop off because pretty much all the guys
my job is done.
all the guys I was gonna cover.
Mike Horrigan says, please find a way for the Beast from Beauty and the Beast to be the baddest guy just to wreck Tubbs' head as he keeps trying to get his guests to guess his favorite Disney animation, and he's not here.
I mean, like, I think of it, Gaston was the good guy because he just found out that this girl that he liked was trapped in a house full of demonic furniture run by a buffalo man. So, of course, he just organized a rescue mission. That's all.
He's just a nice guy.
Lady.
Damien continues his one. Number 9, Mr. Freeze. 10, Sandman. 11, Whirlwind. Nice Ant-Man villain. 12, Titanium Man. 13, Crimson Dynamo. 14, Curse. 15, The Wrecking Crew. I suppose that could be all one.
Yeah.
16, The Sad. 17, Despero. I think I've heard of him. 18.
Yeah, I think I know Despero. All right, yeah. 18,
Eclipso, and 19, the Mirror Master. And he says, number 20, Pied Piper. Phew!
That's mad, man. As soon as you said Crimson Dynamo, I just got like a flashback to I remember when I was like Jesus, I was like about 10. It was when like Iron Man 1 came out.
Wow, you're making me feel so old right now.
I'm 23, like, when Iron Man 1 came out, yeah.
I could be your father, Mikey.
I was like 10 or 11, I think, when that movie came out. Probably like 11. But
2008, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I was like 11, I think. But I remember for Christmas that year, I got like these, like an Iron Man action figure and a Crimson Dino action figure.
Oh, nice.
Like, those random tie-in things. But I remember at that time, I had no idea who Crimson Dino was. But just the look of the figure, I was like, this is the coolest thing I have ever seen. And I was like, oh, I hope like in Iron Man 2 they bring him in. Yeah. And it was always this thing of I was constantly like, oh, I hope in the next Iron Man, next Avengers, they bring in Crimson Dynamo. And everyone's like, oh, what does he do? And I'm like, I have no idea. He just looks so cool. I was like, I don't know what he does, but he's just fucking cool looking.
Mick Houlihan says, me, 1, Overlord in IDW Transformers. I know him. 2, Judge Death. 3, G1 Marvel Comics Shockwave. Oh, yes, great shot, great show. Number 4, Abigail from Philadelphia Comic. 5, Old Hob from IDW TMNT. Damien, I got that one already. Jonathan says, it's very hard to leave out movie and TV villains, Brian. And Mick says, special mention just for Tubbs, number 6, Captain Marvel. We got our Brie Larson moment of the week. Damien says, ask Michael if he knows Warlord Krang or Korvac.
Warlord Krang, is that like Krang the Conqueror, or is it like, no, that's Kang, sorry.
That's Kang, yeah.
Is that Krang from Ninja Turtles?
Korvac then is an Avengers villain.
I wouldn't know Korvac now. I probably knew him when I was much younger because he used to have those like Marvel encyclopedias, which I, instead of like learning stuff I needed to in school, it's like I can tell you every X-Men member there was back then.
Okay, so Me for number 20, I'm going to start off with your favorite, actually, Mikey, a clown.
Yeah.
Well, not the clown. Well, you like clowns, like that was a joke. It's Violator from Spawn.
Oh, very cool.
So the kind of crazy, fat, ugly blue clown.
Yeah. He's a great shade.
And he's just a horrible person.
Yeah.
And he turns into a big, horrible demon as well.
Yeah.
But I only started reading Spawn a couple of years ago, and yeah, it's just like awesome.
Yeah.
You should really have a go of it.
Yeah. I haven't read much Spawn now, but oh yeah, big fan of Spawn, like what I'd seen, you know. From
it's Todd McFarlane before Todd McFarlane became Todd McFarlane. So. Well, I think I like Batman. That's about it.
Yeah, he's like, I like Batman. I
love to draw Spider-Man.
Yeah, I want to draw Spider-Man, but I'd rather be drawing Ghost Rider right now. So I think I'm just gonna give Ghost Rider, Batman's cape, and we'll put an end to it.
Poor Todd has a massive horn for Batman, though. So
yeah.
That's why he created Spawn, because he couldn't.
Yeah.
Number 19 for me is the Mandarin from Iron Man.
Yeah. Of course, you mean the great Mandarin from Iron Man 3 with that amazing plot twist.
Yeah, I know.
For those in the comments who don't know me, I'm a sarcastic motherfucker. So obviously, yeah, like, not that Mandarin, the actual Mandarin. Like, yeah.
Like, yeah, fucking that plot twist killed me. It killed me. Like, I know we're not talking about that now, but if they did that to the Joker in a Batman movie, there would be hell.
Have you seen Suicide Squad? that
wasn't the Joker, though.
No, that wasn't the Joker.
That was just Leto being Leto.
That was Morbius coming soon.
He'd actually be good in that, though.
Yeah, that looks like a role he's much more suited to.
Yeah, skinny, life-sucking person. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Jonathan says Vader, Palpatine, Megatron, T-800, Predator, Khan, Gul Dukat, Garak, Hans Gruber, and Jabba the Hutt. Mick says good shout on the Violator clown. Damien says clown was vile in Spawn. It's a horrible comic, like you should really read it. Brian, I'm older than you, and Todd McFarlane was always Todd McFarlane. I don't know, I'm pretty old. No worries, let it out, no kids about. David said to you. No, I love the Mandarin. Went from I think it was Eddie Granoff started off Extremis with Iron Man, and when he came into that eventually, it was kind of the what the inspiration for Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
When they were doing the whole extremist soldiers and stuff. Number 18, I only put this in to slag tubs, but anyway, Doomsday, because like, not because he's a villain, because he's a hero, because he killed Superman. But yes, on all seriousness though, Doomsday is an awesome villain.
Yeah, really cool villain. Really
there's no complicatedness, there's no convolutedness. He just comes in from out of nowhere and murders Superman. Something no one could do.
That's all he's there for. He's like, I don't want to bother with anything else. Just let me go do my thing.
But he's just like a DNA of Wrecking Ball or something.
Yeah.
Jonathan said Extremis was in the comics was so much better than the crap we got in Iron Man 3. Yeah, it's fucking awesome comic. I was so excited when they leaked that was the story they were basing it on. I was so disappointed by that movie.
Yeah.
That they made Lethal Weapon 5 with Iron Man.
Yeah. Same premise actually as The Incredibles 1. If you think about it. At the start of the movie, he meets this young guy who's like, I want to work with you. And he's like, no, leave me alone. And then that young guy's like, fine, I'm going to trap you up in cable ties and I'm going to kill the president. Whatever. Pretty much the same movie.
It was like the whole thing, like, oh, I'll meet you on the top floor and you can tell me what your idea is. Like the jilted nerd again, like.
Yeah.
which they also did with Catwoman
Oh, stuff.
and with Cheetah in the last Wonder Woman film, which is god awful.
I still haven't seen Wonder Woman 84. It's
There's still time to avoid it. So
yeah, I watched Snyder Cut, and I'm just not a fan of Zack Snyder. So I was like, this certainly is a 4-hour version of the Joss Whedon movie we saw all those years ago.
like I think Zack Snyder really has been like infiltrating this podcast, because every week I try not to mention Zack Snyder, and every week we end up talking about it.
Yeah.
But
it's like everyone kind of universally agrees, where it's like he's just fine at what he does. It's like he certainly makes films.
Decidedly average.
Yeah, he definitely knows how to make a movie.
Like I enjoyed Army of the Dead, but there's so many problems with it, like most of these films.
Yeah, like most Zack Snyder movies, I was like, this would be great if it was like an hour shorter. There was like an hour,
and someone showed him how to focus.
Yeah. It's like he gave up his weird fetish of going super slow motion and then zooming in really fast to just going, I'm just going to just like spin the focus puller.
I'm going to do the opposite of pull focus and not pull focus. Number 17 for me is Bullseye.
Nice.
Who killed Elektra and almost Matt Murdock as well. Yeah. And that was one of the, I think it's like a prepubescent teen. That was one of the first comics that really made me go, oh my God, they can do that in comics?
Yeah, they can do this. That's not allowed.
Like, you never really saw the villains succeed. So that, like, I've always been a bigger fan of villains than heroes. So they're more complicated or something.
Yeah. And they're more entertaining as well. It's like that thing where, if you really like pull it apart, like obviously Batman is super cool and everything, but especially like if you pull everything apart, it's like you're not really reading it for Batman. You're reading it to see what the fucking psychopaths he's dealing with are up to, because they're just
like, Batman has got the coolest rogues gallery as well.
Yeah, easily.
And I actually haven't picked many of them in this.
Yeah, my list is mostly Batman.
Okay, that's cool, because I've only got I think I've only got the obvious one actually. Number 16, Sinestro.
Nice.
It's I read, I think it was Green Lantern Rebirth, and all of the Yellow Lantern stuff.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love this character, and they butchered him in the movie then as well.
Yeah,
which is so disappointing.
That movie butchered everything Green Lantern. It's like
when I watched it, was like Suicide Squad for me. When I watched it the first time, I was like, oh, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
But then I started thinking about it, and that was it.
Yeah, it really felt like Batman and Robin era DC, where it's like, like the whole thing with Green Lantern, it's like, get like someone incredibly creative to write and direct it, because that's the Green Lantern's thing. Anything he thinks of comes out of the ring, so make something cool. But it's like anything he did was just like, oh look, I'm gonna make a giant Hot Wheels set so we can sell a Green Lantern Hot Wheels set, or I'm gonna make a big Nerf gun so we can sell a Green Lantern Nerf gun, all that kind of everything was like had to be a toy out of that movie. Like with Batman and Robin, where it's like, quick, we need to change our suits again, and we need to get into the brand new Batmobile, and we need to
It's like a classic 90s comic movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was proper
cringe.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole Hector Hammond thing. Oh God.
Oh God.
So Sinestro in the comics, though, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Number 15, Dr. Octopus.
Nice. Yeah.
The reason I picked him was the whole Superior Spider-Man arc.
Yeah.
It was one of the most interesting Spider-Man stories I've read in years.
Yeah.
He literally swapped bodies with Peter Parker and started doing, like, wanted to do heroic shit, but ended up enjoying it after a while.
Yeah.
But he was scarily efficient.
Yeah. Doc Ock is also on my list as well. Like a few lads you mentioned on my list as well, but funny how you mentioned Superior Spider-Man. the reason I chose Doc Ock is for that arc where he's just dating Aunt May and he's only doing it to piss off Spider-Man. It's like, I love it. He finds out who Peter Parker is. He's like, he's got that aunt, doesn't he? He's like, I'm just gonna slide in there. He's like, you can call me Uncle Octopus, Spider-Man.
Where are my arms gonna go today? Damien says, yeah, but Mark Strong was excellent as Dr. Sivana in Shazam.
Yeah,
he was a lot better. Number 14, definitely Kingpin for me. More so for his Daredevil stuff than Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's actually really weird. It's only like as I got older, I actually found out that he's way more involved with Spider-Man. I always associated him with Daredevil. Like, I always saw him as that, but it was only then, like, as I like started getting older and stuff, and I was like playing like the PS4 game and stuff, and like the Into the Spider-Verse movie, I was like, he's really involved in this. And then during like lockdown, I was watching because they put up all the 90s Spider-Man on Disney.
90s animated series.
Yeah. So I went back and like, I watched that as a kid and obviously, I barely remembered any of it. So I went back, rewatched it. Doesn't hold up the same way that Batman, the animated series, holds up, but still pretty good. And I genuinely was like, how did I not like ever notice how big a part Kingpin is in this series? He's in like every episode.
Yeah, for me it was the opposite. I watched that when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I always thought he was a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah.
But then reading like Daredevil, Born Again, I think was the name of the arc. And Kingpin is just another bastard to Daredevil.
Yeah.
He's actually the one that hires Bullseye to kill Elektra. Like.
Yeah. Oh, like Kingpin's a really good villain. Like, I just love what they do with him and stuff. And like, it's kind of great having that like character who, because especially in the Marvel world, you have the likes of Galactus and Thanos. And
you got to have your street level.
Yeah, you've got like this will end the world. But then you've just got this one like really just big dude. He's just a big guy with a lot of money, and he's just like, fuck you, Spider-Man.
he just wants to own the city block, and that's all he's
just like a regular like gangster, and it's the fact that he just causes such havoc is like brilliant.
Yeah. So yeah, despite what you just said there, onto number 13, which is the type of villain you just described. My number 13 is Thanos.
Yeah.
And the original Infinity Gauntlet series is just chef's kiss.
Yeah. I'm ashamed to say I only read that after seeing Infinity War. So like I'd always known who Thanos was. I knew he was like a big deal because I read like certain comics with him popping up. So when they set him up at the end of Avengers 1, I was like, oh my god, it's like they're doing it. But then it was only like after watching Infinity War, I was like, I don't think I actually ever read that arc. And then I found him online, read him, and I was like, oh my gosh. It's like, this is ridiculous. This is insane.
Like any guy who is willing to snap away half the universe just to impress Death is pretty fucking weird.
It's like, it wasn't a thing of, creating the perfect world at all. No, he just wants to get with Death. Like,
I don't know why they didn't. I suppose the casual fans wouldn't get it. Maybe I don't know.
I think it was something that I think technically Fox had the rights to Lady Death because she's also like big in Deadpool or something.
Oh, okay.
I think they had the rights to her, so they weren't able to do it.
I think they also just wanted to humanize him a little bit, so people would feel sorry for him.
Yeah,
but
I suppose as well, if he was doing it all for Lady Death, it would kind of be like, everyone would be like, oh, so she's actually like the main villain. So everyone's like, when's Avengers gonna fight her? And no one would care with like Endgame because it's like, no, but what about her? You've already set her up. Go fight her.
Like, the point is, he's just a fucking psychopath, and she's never there in the first place.
Yeah.
Like I've been reading Thanos Rising at the moment, and it's all about Frank Castle playing Ghost Rider. Frank Castle is Ghost Rider, and he's going back in time to try and kill Thanos as a baby. That whole scene where War Machine
just like
says that's what it's from. Like,
yeah,
but
just go and just choke.
Jonathan says the beatdown Spider-Man gives the Kingpin just before a brand new day was one of the best beatdowns in Marvel history.
Yeah.
And Thanos wanted to bang Death, being the reason for the snap, just wouldn't have worked as well on screen. I know it wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But number 12 for me, Wolverine villain, Sabretooth.
Yeah.
I absolutely love him. He's an absolute psychopath as well. And like, I think what works about Sabretooth is he can be not an asshole sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like himself and Wolverine face insurmountable odds.
Yeah.
They beat those odds, and then Sabretooth cuts Wolverine from behind. Seconds later, like he's that much of a bastard. And I think he's always been played. He hasn't been played great in the movies, especially the first few X-Men films.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You see, it's a really weird one, right? Because when I'd seen like X-Men Origins Wolverine, I thought it was better than it was. If you get me,
he wasn't bad in that though.
No, he was pretty good in that, but it's also like that movie was, good God, going back watching now, it's like, oh my God, that's
shockingly bad. Like.
But I think just at the time, I was just like, oh my God, Wolverine movie, this is the best thing ever. It's like, finally. And then it's like Deadpool showed up, but he wasn't Deadpool. But, I was like, hooray, Deadpool. It was more just like happy to see them there than getting annoyed by everything.
I think there's a whole podcast in taking that movie apart itself.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got the Merc with the mouth? Well, here we're going to sew his mouth up.
Get it? We're geniuses.
Number 11 for me, moving away from Marvel, is the Governor from The Walking Dead.
Oh, very cool.
In the comics, he's great in TV series now before going any further. But in the comics, he's just an utter bastard altogether. Yeah. He kills Rick's wife and kid. He just, like, they're in the prison and he just blows the prison to bits, letting the zombies get into them and stuff. And he's just an evil fucker. The problem with him though is he's just a normal guy. He's not a superpower being or anything.
Yeah.
He's just a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Speaking of normal human beings, number 10 is from Spawn as well.
Yeah.
And is Billy Kincaid.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this character, Mikey?
I have, yes. He's
like basically a pedophile in Storm or Spawn. And I probably should have him higher up this list, but Spawn does take care of him pretty swiftly. So but anyone that writes a character like this looking at you, Todd, probably has something going on in their head.
Todd, go to jail.
I just want to draw Batman. I want to draw Batman.
I want to draw Batman. I want to draw Robin as well. Oh no, Todd.
The boy wonder. But again, just Spawn making like realistic criminals, because there is a lot of shit in the real world as well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Have you seen that fan film, Batman No Time to Die?
No, I haven't. I have heard of it though.
Yeah, the Bat and the Sun lads made that. They're the guys who do all like the
superhero death matches and stuff.
Yeah, superhero death match or whatever it's called. But they did like it's only about like 20 minutes or something. But I don't know. I'm very like mixed about it, because the opening scene, it's not a spoiler, but basically it's like the opening scene is, Batman's at this crime scene or whatever, and like he beats the shit out of the Mad Hatter, but then like it's like revealed that in this version it's like, he kidnaps young women to be his Alice, and he's like, he's like a diddler and stuff. And it's just like, I'm like, oh, it's like, that's just too fucking,
too far.
It's too far. Like, it's just too far. It's too grim. It's like, don't go. It's like, just, if put the Mad Hatter in as just a fucking crazy guy with a hat. It's like doing him that way. It's like, oh, it's like, I get, it's like, obviously, yeah, go Batman, go beat the shit out of that piece of shit. But also, it's like, oh, I came here to watch a Batman movie, like, you know. It's now I just like, oh, it just makes your skin crawl, that kind of shit, like, you know.
Yeah, but no, no, I don't like it per se, but I like that it certain comics and stuff like that aren't afraid to.
Yeah, they're not afraid to deal with that shit, like,
to go down that dirty fucking gritty road.
Yeah.
Sometimes, as you say though, it does go too far.
Yeah.
But yeah. So number 9, Spider-Man's greatest enemy, Green Goblin.
Yeah.
He's here beside me, behind me, somewhere there.
Yeah.
That scene is iconic where he drops Gwen Stacy off the thing, and I thought it was so well done in Amazing Spider-Man 2. 1 was it 2?
2, yeah. Yeah.
And I watched it countless times to see if her head actually hit the ground, and it does. I think, shivers thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like that whole arc, Goblin's Last Stand, is just phenomenal.
And like Norman Osborn as well, after Secret Invasion, where he managed to get himself as the leader of the Dark Avengers.
Yeah.
He's just a worm as well, you know?
Yeah.
He can wiggle his way anywhere, and I really loved him as Iron Patriot as well.
I just think, like, you know, like, obviously, like, I mean, spoilers for my list or whatever, but he's my second favorite villain of all time, because I just fucking adore the Green Goblin. I think, like, everything about him, he's just so, like, he's just such an evil bastard.
He's such an utter bastard, yeah.
That's like, even the best way to put it, it's like, I don't see like Green Goblin as a villain. Green Goblin's a baddie, if you get me. Like, there's no like humanizing qualities about him. He's just pure evil. And it's just,
and like, it's not even the Goblin serum, like, not Osborn himself is a fucking dickhead. Like,
yeah, like, I think Willem Dafoe is the greatest casting of all time to play that character. Like, oh my god, everything about it, like, cause I know we're not talking movies, we're talking like comic books.
No, go on, talk away.
Oh man, like, I remember seeing Spider-Man for the first time as a kid, like, and just my mind was blown. Like, you know, I was amazed by it. And I remember when at the end of that movie, how he gets like killed by his own glider. You know, I was there and I was like, oh no. And my dad was like, no, Mike, he's the bad guy. I was like, no, I'm happy Spider-Man won, but I want to see Spider-Man fight him more. You know, I was like, I don't want him to be dead yet. It's like,
that's a bit of a pet peeve of mine as well. I hate when a villain dies after one movie.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm so like, I'm so conflicted. It's like, I hate when they die after one movie, but I'm not a fan of, and the MCU fucking love doing it, no one's ever really truly dead kind of, you know. Especially, have you heard those rumors about No Way Home?
Yeah, I'm trying not to I try to zone out.
Yeah. Like, when I heard that stuff, I was like,
Tree Uncle Ben's?
Yeah, when I heard that stuff, where it's like, oh yeah, we're going to set up the Sinister Six by using just the villains from all the other movies. It's like, brilliant but lazy.
Fucking lazy as fuck. Yeah. My number.
If it means I get more Dafoe as Green Goblin, I mean, regardless, I'll be there opening day to see No Way Home.
Or sitting at your laptop, whatever.
Yeah, whatever state the world's in by then.
But yeah. So number 8 is not one person; it's a group.
Yeah.
The Hellfire Club from X-Men.
Cool. Yeah.
Actually, is it near me? I have this. I love these guys.
Oh shit. Ooh.
Hellfire Club box set.
Unreal.
Oh, I haven't even opened it yet because I don't want to, because it's just fucking class.
The box too nice.
I've opened it, but I haven't taken them out.
Yeah. Actually, like, I've mean to ask, because obviously you are a massive collector, class.
Here we go.
Obviously you are a massive collector, as like, you know, you have a whole YouTube
Only in
channel.
stature, not in size.
Yeah. You have a YouTube channel dedicated to it. Is there ever like that one figure where you'd be like, no, I can't take it out of the box? Because I mean, you know, I don't have a big collection by any means, but you know, I'm not a inbox person. I'm like,
You're not an inbox wanker.
no, I literally like rip the box off because I'm like, oh, look at it. Like even
There is one.
I've got my lovely Batman, and I've got my lovely me action figure as well.
Oh, nice.
I've been making them hold hands because we're best friends.
I have one, and I didn't open it because I have two other versions of it
Oh,
that aren't exclusive, and it's here. This bad boy, G.I. Joe.
oh, nice one.
Snake Supreme Cobra, and it's open, but it's not been taken out.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's class.
that's pretty fucking cool. I'm gonna leave him. Definitely leave him in that box. Like,
yeah, that's really good.
I think that is the only box figure I have.
Mm.
Yeah, I can't see any other side. I do have this that I'm not allowed to open because it's not mine.
Oh, nice.
Then Super Nintendo Friday the 13th.
Nice.
But yes. So, what number was I on? Okay, so Damien says, agree, Spider-Man movies should not be treated like Bond villains. Jonathan Redmond says, it is a problem with the Marvel movies. It leaves a lack of villains for future movies. Imagine if Loki or Zemo had been killed off after one film. Yeah, we wouldn't have got that horrible dance number that everyone loves.
It's a really weird thing as well, because like with the amount of villains they've set up, they could easily do like, you know, just like set up like a team of
Masters of Evil or something like that.
Yeah, they could have done that. That could have been, instead of Age of Ultron, it could have just been Avengers versus, you know, like Masters of Evil. Or
I think Age of Ultron aged really well.
yeah, no, I did enjoy Age of Ultron. Like, it's so weird though, like going back and watching it, because at the time it felt like it was very much just an extended trailer for everything to come, because it's like, we got to go to Wakanda for 10 minutes. Why? Don't worry. don't worry about it.
Like, the only thing that annoys me about that film, looking back, is Baron von Strucker basically killed off in 10 minutes. And yeah.
What also annoyed me about that as well, because the end of Avengers 1, they're all like, how will we know when to like reunite? It's like, oh, something will come up. And, you know, because then I was like, oh, I can't wait to see like that moment in Avengers 2 where they all have to come back together. And it just opens where it's like, some Nazis have a stick, let's go. It's like, this is an Avengers level threat.
I do love, though, from that opening,
is
there's no pussyfooting around, it's just straight into it.
Yeah, it's just like, boom, it's Avengers 2, get ready.
Yeah.
That's
number 7.
Last movie, did Iron Man said he's given up being Iron Man forever? No, he was lying. He's Iron Man again. It's like,
yeah, that was Iron Man 3 as well.
Yeah.
Number 7 for me, Master of Magnetism, Magneto.
Oh, yeah.
I just love him. He's in I had a word for him earlier and I can't remember it now. But I love how like regal and noble he is.
Yeah.
And how less of a fuck he gives about humans.
Yeah, he's very like proper, and you know, like he's very like, you know. And again, it comes out of a thing of like, I mean, I think both castings for him are great. I think McKellen and Fassbender do really good jobs playing him. I
think Ian McKellen captures his grandeur much more.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas, like Fassbender, that scene in the bar in Argentina, is it? Where with the knife and he kills the two guys.
Oh yeah.
That just, he captured his ferocity so much better, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas,
like they both work really. It's weird because like they both work really well as like, oh yeah, he's definitely the younger version of McKellen's Magneto. You know, it's not like, oh, here's a complete reinterpretation. It's like,
yeah.
This is him as like a just starting out as Magneto, you know.
Jonathan says, man, Zemo was the best thing about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah, I was only joking, man, doing the dance and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Zemo. I love the actor playing him as well. He's fantastic.
Yeah. I really liked with Falcon and the Winter Soldier as well that we got to like get more of Zemo, because I did think at the end of Civil War, even though they didn't kill him, you know, I was kind of like, oh, and that's the end of Baron Zemo, you know, kind of.
I wonder will we see more of him in Black Panther 2, seeing as they took him away to the raft or whatever it was. But yeah, back to Magneto for a second. Like, I love the way he dismisses humans as monkeys, basically.
Yeah.
It's just the totalitarianism of it. There we go. There's big words.
No, he's like, mutants are the future. He's like, I don't give a shit about you humans and your petty problems.
Yeah.
I love how like manipulative he is. You know, like he's so good at that, where it's like, you know, he's just like, oh, but Wolverine, you've been alive for decades, and look how awful the people have treated you. And Wolverine's like, maybe I should use these to cut people's faces open. You know, it's just like he's like the perfect opposite to Professor X. You know, it's like they're
it's like
they're two sides of the same coin. Like, you know, it's the
those stupid comments that pass through my brain there now.
What?
Xavier is the left, Magneto is the extremist right. Without bringing politics into it.
Let's not get political.
No. Get shut down.
Oh.
But yeah, like he's like Xavier wants to talk through things and do it the right way, whereas Magneto just wants to stomp on everything.
Yeah.
And put it all on fire. Which probably would be my outlook if I was him too. Number 6 is my second one from The Walking Dead. It's Negan.
Nice.
Do you watch The Walking Dead?
I was watching it for ages. I'm not up to date because I just got to a point where I'm like, I'm good. It's like I'm seeing.
I'm the same.
I was like, I've seen enough. I don't really care to stick around and see how this ends, kind of, you know. But
I think the problem
it was when the world went into its own real life apocalypse. I was like, I need to watch something just a little less depressing. I was like, I'm just gonna go back to watching superheroes again. I was like, they're fun.
But like the one thing I'd say about Negan in the TV show, and I know I keep referencing that, is I feel sorry for Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I'm signed on to play him, because the minute he walked out in the first episode of season 7 and he said, "Who's ready to pee their pants?" And I was like, yeah, he doesn't need, they're not going to do it right.
Yeah.
Because like Negan in the comics.
Yeah, the classic Negan quote.
like I've read The Walking Dead. I've read every issue. I've finished it. And when Negan appears first, he is like 75% terrifying and 25% hilarious. Like he'll walk out and say, "Which one of you fuckers is going to piss your fucking pants tonight?" And starts laughing. Like, they're like, "Is this guy serious?" Like, and then he will bash someone's head in with the bat.
Yeah.
Who he named after his wife, which is absolutely crazy as well.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the best villains outside of Marvel in a long, long time, and deserves a spot on the list.
Get him on the list, boys.
Down my top 5.
Yeah.
This is my last X-Men villain, and it is Mr. Sinister.
Yeah.
Who likes to fuck about with genetics.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome. My first kind of thing with him was my first time reading him. I can't remember what the story was, but I think he was chasing Cable, who had a baby Hope. Someone tell me the story in the comments, the arc. And he basically, Cable was protecting the child from the future, and there was like a mutant X or something, like this mutant dog creature chasing her as well.
Oh yeah.
I really can't think of it.
Yeah.
Someone is going to come up with it, but ever since then, I've really liked him. I loved him in the animated series as well. And I'd love Bryan Cranston to play him in a movie sometime.
So cool. I am still just. I wish Cranston was fucking Lex Luthor, man. It would have been so cool.
No, Lex Luthor's done to death now, I think.
No, they had like if I am 100% to this day I'll die on the hill that it was like a game of Chinese whispers where it's like they want Bryan Cranston to be Lex Luthor, they want Heisenberg to be Lex Luthor, they want Eisenberg to be Lex Luthor. That's how it went, 100%.
Someone misspelled memo there, like.
Yeah. Why else would you ever think of casting Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Where was we in the comments? Damien said we still need to see more from Arnim Zola, Ultron, and hopefully Zemo forming the Masters of Evil in MCU. Sean, hey, how are you, buddy? Hey guys, it's me again. Come to hang out for a bit. Oh, that's awesome, man. We're just talking about comic book villains, my top 20, and then we'll be going through Mikey's top 20. Saint City Limerick, where is Tubbs tonight? Saint City Limerick Tubbs had to drop off for this week, but he will be back next week. He had a little issue and stuff, so that's fine. Jonathan
in his place is Twisted Tubbs Mark II, as you can see.
And yeah, Saint City, this is Mikey Casey. He is filling in brilliantly tonight for Tubbs. Jonathan says Sinister first showed up in X-Men as the power behind the Marauders, I think. Yeah, I think you're on the ball there, actually. I must look up that other arc I was on about, though. My number 4 is my last DC one, and my only.
Yeah.
It's the Joker, because the Joker is incredible. My favorite graphic novel is The Killing Joke. When I was doing acting classes, I actually did a monologue from it horribly.
Oh, sweet! Did you do the one at the rooftop scene, like where he's the joke, Batman?
The one where it's like anyone can have a bad day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And Joker, like, he's just timeless. He can be anywhere, in any story, and he's either funny or terrifying.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, because again, Joker's obviously on my list. I think he's on everyone's villain list. I think what's so amazing about the Joker as well is there's so many different interpretations of him, and like they can all work. Like, it's so weird to think that, like, say if you're going somewhere like Big Bang Comics, right?
Yeah.
And you're looking at the action figures, you can get this little like cartoony Joker where it's like, he'll in like the kids comics, it's like, oh, he'll just like hit Batman with the pie in the face. Like, like the 60s Batman, how it's like he'd just be hitting him with pies, or he'd be like, just a boxing glove coming out of a Jack in the Box. And then next to that Joker, you'll have the one from the New 52 Death of the Family line, where Joker has cut off a man's face and has put it over and painted it up like a clown, and it's like it's insane how like one character can have so many different interpretations and you still know that's the Joker.
Yeah, straight away who it is. Like,
yeah, it's never a thing of like, oh, now is this a new villain? You're just like, oh no, that's the Joker. It's like that's him.
In the comments, Jonathan says, seriously, Jesse Eisenberg as Luthor, I was done with the DCU at that point. I think a lot of people were.
Yeah.
Saint City Limerick says, hello, Mikey. Jonathan says, McFarlane is bringing out a Killing Joke Joker figure. Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that, because I'm not a big fan of McFarlane, but I do have their Joker one. Hold on, the Arkham Knight one. Hold on a second. If I can reach, I will show you guys. I can reach.
Woo!
So this is my McFarlane Joker, which is pretty fucking awesome.
That's so cool.
But like with McFarlane, they're really, really lanky.
Yeah. That's like the whole design off of the Arkham games anyway, though.
Yeah.
They're all, like, I always find that so funny with the Arkham game, because obviously it's going for the animated series but realistic, but it's like Batman's so chunky and he's just got these massive ears which like go on forever. And it's like, how do you even get into the Batmobile? Surely they get like caught when the roof closes over.
They just go
yeah.
special bendy ears.
Yeah.
Davey says my favorite comic book read is actually Mad, a great Mad Hatter story. And Jonathan says a Brian Boland Joker figure is an insta buy for me. Sweet. So my top three, you'll have probably guessed any of Mike, you're all Marvel characters. Yeah. Any guesses off the top of your head?
I 100% know who your number one is.
Okay.
Do you want me to say it now, or will I wait till you get to him?
Go on, sure. I won't answer either way.
Doctor Doom.
Okay, I'll say nothing.
Yeah. Because I know he's on my list as well. I'm pretty sure Galactus is showing up here, and Venom or Craven, I'd say.
Okay, so
kind of ruining my own list here.
My number three, I don't think you'd guess it if you're here for the night, to be honest. My number three is the brother of an Avenger. He is Ares, Marvel's God of War.
Nice.
I started reading him I first came across him, in the whole Reign arc, Dark Avengers and whatever.
Yeah.
He was the like version of Thor that the Dark Avengers had. And I read I got a few trade comic book fucking things of him and learned about him a bit more. And then there was Siege, and Sentry ripped him in half, which was crazy. Yeah. But like coming back to fucking Zack Snyder again, I always loved 300, and Ares is very much in the vein of the Spartan Warriors.
Yeah.
And I always loved that stuff. Like, I know it's pure macho bullshit, like, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. There's something so weird about all like the ancient Roman and Greece mythology, everything about it, like even just like the old school armor. It's just so cool. Like
I have him here actually.
The old like Roman like centurion kind of armor, it just looks just badass, like, it's literally just like a metal breastplate and a skirt, like that's all it is. Yeah,
that's him. Fucking class. And
cool.
Funny story, when this guy was released first, this is the second release of him. When this was released first, it was only as I was joking to you the other day, a Build-A-Figure. So you used to collect the parts of him. But when I found him, they weren't making them anymore. So I paid €100 to get it.
You must have been livid when they released them as.
No, I actually about, I would say 6 months before it re-released, I sold it because I ran into a bit of financial trouble with my car and I had to sell it. And I think I got €120 for it.
Nice.
And then it re-released with the Thor. What was the last Thor movie? Ragnarok? The Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Ragnarok Wave. A comic version of Ares came out and it was exactly the same.
So
I was like, yes, repaints.
Oh, that's brilliant, man.
I
would have been absolutely living now if I had paid that much. If I was that poor sap, you.
Well, like I was gutted selling it, even at that, like. But
But oh man, that is nuts.
Like Hasbro, make a new one. Make a new one.
Yeah, it's
nobody.
It's mad how so much of those figures go for like so much now as well.
Yeah. Well, it's just the fact that it was a rare wave and it was a figure, so you need to get them all.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just one rare figure, you were chasing 6 or 7.
Yeah, you were chasing a full line, like.
My number 2 pick is a murdering psychopath, and he's about to hit the big screen soon. It's Carnage.
Yeah.
Cletus Cassidy. So Venom's bastard child.
Yeah.
I always loved him as well. Like the first time I saw him was in an animated series, but I've read him in like stuff like Carnage USA and the latest I can't think. It's by Donny Cates. Anyway, the latest Carnage story.
Yeah.
All about the Red God of the symbiotes and stuff. It's fantastic stuff.
Yeah,
And
I remember having
just
a
loopy.
comic years ago which had Carnage in it, and as a kid I was actually like, because it was drawn, I think my parents just bought me because they're like, oh, it's Spider-Man, whatever. They didn't like realize the comics can be like violent and stuff, so I was like scared of it, like like all the drawings and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember like I was like, no, I'll power through and I'll read it all. But the ending was like blowing my mind, because it was like that point where Spider-Man's talking to Venom and he's like, the only way we can stop him is if we work together and stuff. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is the cool. I was like, Spider-Man's teaming up with Venom. I was like, this is insane. No, yeah, Carnage is a fucking great shout, man.
You guessed right at the start, obviously. My number one is Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
The day he's done properly in film, I have a feeling something's going to happen to me, if that is because I've been waiting for so long for it to happen.
Yeah.
But Doom is just fucking everything.
Yeah.
He's a dictator, he does magic, he's just an arrogant bastard as well.
Yeah.
Like when he meets Tony Stark, he's like, you don't know more technical shit than me.
Yeah.
I'm way more cleverer than you.
Yeah, they better do, when the MCU eventually get to doing Doom, they better do it like proper Doom. None of this shit of, oh, he's just Reed Richards' friend from college. No, it's like, do him as the big like dictator of.
But they did go to college together as well.
I know, but like they always skip out him running this big ridiculous empire, like It's always just, and then he gets a scary mask.
No, they should show him fucking up his face and stuff. And like, I don't know. He's a very complex character, but he's also very simple. Yeah. He's an egomaniac, like that does not want. And I do like as well that it's not that he's ruling Latveria. He just, if anyone fucks with his country, he's like, how dare you mess with Doom? I will.
Yeah, he's like, how dare you? He's literally like, that guy is like, this is my city.
That's Kingpin.
Yeah. He's that guy who like does nothing but complain. He's that guy who lives out in Kildimo and does nothing but complains about how shit Kildimo is. But if you say Kildimo shit, he's like, this is the land of saints and scholars. How dare you?
It's like you slap your own brother, but no one else can.
Yeah.
But like Doom, like in Secret Wars, you've read Secret Wars a few years ago, where all the heroes and villains are brought to Battle World. Yeah. And it's not enough for him. He finds out Beyonder is like so powerful, and Doom's like, nah, I'm having that power.
Yeah. Doom's like, gimme. Get
the Chaplin live action Snake Eyes to say Doom, he's good with a mask. Oh wait, yeah, I know. But that is just an origin story, so I reckon we'll get something horrible to happen to Snake Eyes in that movie to make him mute and wear a mask. But so that's my top 20. Now, Mikey, the fun begins. Let's hear from yours.
Yeah. So my number 20, bit of an odd one, Red Mist from Kick-Ass.
Oh, nice.
The original Kick-Ass series. There's just something about reading him as it's just so like, he's literally Jake Paul. He's just that he's just that arrogant rich kid who thinks he's the shit, and it's like the only reason why no one can touch him is because his dad's the biggest fucking criminal going. Like, and I just everything like about it as well, how it's like, because you did get that really good arc with him. It's in the movies, but it's also in the comics as well. Like, where he's like, actually, no, I kind of like hanging out with Kick-Ass. And he's like, oh no, but the job needs to be done. And then he's just like, time just being absolute bastard. And the fact that he's just, he's just pretty much just this massive dickhead to everyone. And he's, it's like he's the least threatening villain, but that's kind of what makes him the most fun.
Yeah.
He's like, in his own head, he's like, I am Doctor Doom, but in reality, it's just like
It's what I call Jack Russell syndrome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's a Jack Russell.
That thinks he's a Doberman.
Yeah. Number 19, then, bit of an odd one. It would be the big head killer from The Mask.
Oh, I haven't read the Mask comic actually.
The big head killer actually is The Mask, because in The Mask comics, Stanley Ipkiss, which is the guy Jim Carrey plays, it's way, way, way different to the movie. Because when he gets the mask on him, he just goes around murdering people.
Whoa.
There's nothing to do with, like, being a big cartoon. He's just going around killing people. But he's known then as the big head killer. And the whole, like, arc of The Mask is insane, because it's all things like he ends up getting killed, and the whole thing is just about this cop trying to find where the mask is, and different people keep getting the mask until eventually his own daughter gets the mask, and he's kind of like, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? Like, he's like, this is my kid, I can't do anything here. And yeah, so I think just that, like, so it's the mask itself
Yeah.
be the villain, kind of. And
that's class. Like, that sounds like a better premise for the movie than the actual movie.
It's way, way better. And I'm like, I have no idea why someone took this. They obviously just went, oh, it's a comic book, let's make it into a movie because it's the 90s. Let's get Jim Carrey to do it because
he's popular now.
He's popular now, and he's good with wearing green shit on his face for most. So there was like, yeah, we'll do it that way. But no, give the Mask comics a read. They're fucking.
Yeah, that sounds like something that would make for the next great, like, Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Show, like.
Yeah. They be able to call it The Mask, though, is the only thing now, because people are like, Jim Carrey.
Yeah, but that could draw people in.
Yeah.
Damien Ristori says Viggo Mortensen as Dr. Doom. I love that.
Yeah.
Or Zachary Quinto. I hate that. I'm sorry. Like, I can only. Oh no, it's Zachary Quinto. I'm messing him up with Zachary Levy. Zachary Levi. Quinto is the guy that played Spock, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good show as well.
Could you imagine your man who plays Shazam being Dr. Doom?
Oh God, no.
You got the Avengers, right?
Mick Holland says Masked Big Head is a great show. Yeah. Another will be Baxter Stockman and Mirage Comics. Jonathan Redmond, Viggo Mortensen, perfect. Quito kind of plays the same character all the time. Yeah, like I enjoy him in American Horror Story from what I've seen of him in that, and he was a good Spock. But I don't know. I don't see Doom though. Well, yeah, fire away.
So, well, I'm on 18 now, and it's funny that you mentioned Baxter Stockman because 18 is the Shredder.
Oh, nice.
I just fucking love the Shredder. Obviously, my main introduction to him was the cartoons or whatever, but then, when I started reading the Ninja Turtle comics and stuff, and especially some of the more recent ones, the more like I suppose that obviously the original Ninja Turtles were very violent as well.
The starting ones were fucking mad.
Yeah, the start off ones. But even in more recent years now, they have they've gotten edgy again, kind of the comics, and just like everything about the Shredder, he just looks cool. Like that. That's obviously what draws you into him at first. Is like he just fucking looks cool.
When a cutlery attack.
Attack. Yeah. So yeah, Shredder definitely. So let's see. I really should have like physically written this down. So that was 17. Yes.
Yeah. No, 18. 18. That was 18.
That was 18. So 17 then would be the Scorpion, the Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, nice. Mac Gargan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was Venom eventually as well.
Yeah. Big fan of him. I don't know. He was always he's always just kind of a weird one. He's one of those villains who it's like you never really know like if he's the main focus or if he's just like something smaller. It's kind of like the Shocker, who's later on in my list because 90s Spider-Man and and everything the Shocker is just amazing.
In the comments, Damien says Rat King or Krang, I loved. And Mick says IDW TMNT 1 to 100 comics are great. Recent, not great to be honest, but recommend the trades for the latest TMNT IDW run. Yeah. Nice. So yeah, I need to check out some of those as well. I haven't read Turtles in years.
Yeah.
So what is your next one is 16.
16 is Two-Face. I think Two-Face is just, I love everything about him. I love that he's just a piece of shit politician. And I love that he's an evil psychopath. And I love how corny the flick of the coin is. Even
it's just a visual as well. Like,
yeah, like I love as well how, like, when obviously in the more modern comics now they try and make him look more like in the Dark Knight, where it's like, you know, like all fucked up and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Hey, remember,
I've got a coin.
But I love that they stick to that thing of, like, you know, like everything about him so just campy and ridiculous, but they keep to that stupid thing of, like, I'm gonna shoot you, Batman, unless. Ding.
And
yeah.
Was he an ex-cop in the comics as well? I don't know. Like,
it depends on the line. I think originally he's just a politician. Originally he was just a. Actually, no. I think originally when he first showed up, he was just a guy with two faces. they never bothered to, because this is back when
it was the animated series really gave him a backstory, wasn't it?
The animated series getting the backstory. In the original comics, he was just like a dude with a fucked up face. Because I mean, like in a lot of the original Batmans, you know, they'd only set up the villains as a one and done kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think the Joker's first appearance, they killed him off at the end, you know, and then they just brought him back and they never explained. You know,
it's this guy again.
But they killed him off in that one again. And then they brought him back again. And they were just like, let's just stop killing him off because we clearly like using him. And then they were like, you know what? Let's say Batman doesn't kill. So that way we can use these villains whenever we want.
Damien says he was a district attorney. So, yeah. Mick says, actually, I meant TMNT 101 to 116 latest. It's disappointing, in my opinion, compared to previous storylines. And Damien, on your choice, Scorpion is a really cool villain. I want him as a solo MCU, or at least a good story.
Yeah. That's one thing actually which does really annoy me, is they set him up at the end of Homecoming, and then Far From Home they went straight to Mysterio, and now God only knows what they're doing.
But I will say though, they also set up Jameson at the end of the last one, and Jameson is the one that makes the Scorpion suit in the comics.
Oh, true, actually, yeah.
For him, so Marvel do everything slowly, which is what I like.
Yeah. Well, what scares me is it's also Sony who have a hand in this one, you know. Because as well, like I was really at the end of Far From Home, you know, I was like, they're definitely setting it up for Kraven. It has to be Kraven, like, you know, because Spider-Man's now on the run, you know.
Yeah, and hunt him down.
Yeah, Kraven's gonna be like, let's fucking do this, boys. And then they were like, no, Kraven's getting his own movie and he's not gonna be showing up. And it's like, lads. It's like,
well, at least he'll have super speed.
Yeah, it's like, Sony, can you just like
fuck off
trying to be involved? Just give these guys back to Marvel, please.
It just reminds me of did you ever see the Simpsons episode where they go to Cuba and Mr. Burns hands him over the $1 trillion bill, and Marvel is like, give what back?
Give what back?
No, give it back. Here's Spider-Man, now give it back. Give what back?
What back?
I fucked the landing in that joke the first time, but anyway.
So yeah, that was my 16. So then number 15, I'd say Doc Ock probably would be my number 15. He's just cool. What can I say? As I already mentioned, that arc where he just starts banging Spider-Man's hand, absolutely hilarious.
The Marissa Tomei version.
Yeah. He's just like, meh. He's like,
He
I don't
in
want to
fairness,
piss off
if-
Spider-Man right now.
in fairness, though, he was the best part of the Raimi trilogy. So I'm glad he's coming back if he is coming back.
Yeah. He's one of the ones confirmed. I think him and Jamie Foxx are.
I think he said it outright, didn't he?
Yeah, Jamie Foxx like put it up on his Instagram. He's like, I'm back in Spider-Man. I'm Electro. I'm not blue. and Kevin Feige was like, take that down. And then it was rumored about Alfred Molina. And then Larry Alfred Molina was like, just walking down the street, and some paparazzi guy was like, what's your next project? He was like, Spider-Man.
Didn't they ask him, like, oh, didn't you do a load of work? And he basically turned around, yeah, well, Tentacles did all the work.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like,
yeah. He was like, you just stand there and he's like, you stand in front of a green screen, you make faces. I love that, like, pretty much anything they're saying, Kevin Feige is running around right now like a headless chicken. He's like, take it down, take it all down. And like saying in an interview was like, I got to work with Alfred Molina on the film and it was great fun. And they're like, is that Spider-Man? And she was like, yes. And then the next day on her Instagram, she was like, it wasn't Spider-Man. I just got confused. It was a different film that I'm doing at the moment. And everyone's like, sure. Doc Ock's just one of those villains who, you know, he's just fucking cool.
He's awesome.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure like most of Sinister Six are on my list. So like, yeah, Mysterio would definitely be next at 14. Yeah. I
love Mysterio as well.
Yeah. Super jealous of that really cool action figure you bought. When I saw that in the video, I was like, ooh. I was like,
they still have a Big Bang, like, if you want it. As far as I know.
I must give him a call. I was really that moment in what was it in Captain America 2 when Falcon sees the shield, he's like, I gotta get me one of those.
And then when he gets it, he didn't want it.
Yeah, he's like, no.
It's too heavy.
John Walker can have it, I guess. So yeah, then Mysterio would be 14. Just all around great villain.
He's class.
Yeah,
I really like what they did. I know it's fairly predictable, but I did enjoy what they did on the last one, making all the monsters and stuff actual.
Yeah, that was cool. Really cool. That was really cool. Number 13 then would be the Riddler. Always.
Oh, nice.
Always a big fan of the Riddler. Even the Jim Carrey one. I don't know what it is. I just like seeing the Riddler, and I like I love how in like the more recent comics as well, they're going with Riddler as more of like he's really just messing with Batman's head at this stage, like, you know, and it looks like they're taking that for the Matt Reeves movie by the looks of it. He doesn't seem like,
yeah, it looks class, doesn't it? How dark it is.
He doesn't look like he's really going to be a physical threat. It's more he's just going to fuck with Batman mentally, you know, which I'm all about. I want to see more of it. Upset we didn't get Riddler in the Nolan universe, because I think Nolan would have done something fucking banging with the Riddler. I think he could have.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of Nolan, so we won't go there today.
Okay. We won't. So yeah, that was 13. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 12 then is another one of my favorite Batman villains, and he's not messing with Batman's mind. He's breaking his back. Bane. And you know, I know I just said I'd love to have seen Riddler in the Nolanverse. Don't think Bane should have been in the Nolanverse. I love what Tom Hardy did, but in my mind, Bane is the Hulk. He's got to be big. He's got to be fucking pumped full of steroids. Oh, am I frozen on you there?
No.
Cool. Yeah.
Pretty good.
I think Bane's got to be fun.
It's when I start holding up my jacket, pretending to be Bane.
Yeah, no, I think Bane's just got to be fucking big and fucking Mexican and insane.
That arc where he smashes up Batman's back is incredible.
Nightfall. It's a fucking phenomenal arc.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I remember renting Nightfall out from my local library when I was like 10 because I'd seen the cover. And it was my first ever time like seeing Bane, apart from Batman and Robin. But I didn't know that was Bane. You know, I thought he was just some big monster kind of guy. But I remember like seeing that cover and I was like, oh, and I like read it and I was like, let's see how Batman gets out of this one. It's like, oh no, he just straight up breaks Batman's back. It's like there's no justice will prevail. As Batman's just like, oh, my back. Yeah, so Bane is just something else. And then does that bring me to number 11 or number?
Yep, all I have on, I think.
So number 11, the Scarecrow.
Nice. I really like him.
Love the Scarecrow.
He is someone I really liked what Nolan did with.
Yeah, he did great with the Scarecrow. Thank God fucking Joel Schumacher didn't get to make his Scarecrow with Nicolas Cage. That would have been...
Was that a thing?
It was going to be Batman 5. Batman Triumphant, I think it was going to be called. And it was going to have Robin would quit being Robin at the start of the movie because they're going to try to set up for a Nightwing spin-off. And the whole thing was going to be about Clooney Batman fighting Nicolas Cage as the Scarecrow and Man-Bat, who I assume was just going to be a big
creature thing.
And then apparently at the end of that movie, Nicolas Cage was going to hit him with dust at one stage, with the Scarecrow gas, I mean. And then Batman would have been on trial, but it would have been all the villains from the other ones. So you would have had like,
oh my God,
they would have been the jury. It's like Scarecrow would have been the judge, and then you would have had like Nicholson's Joker, Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer, DeVito.
They need to make this.
Penguin. They would have had all of them there, like Carey's Riddler. And apparently, when they were in pre-production for it, it was going to be Warner Brothers' biggest, like, most expensive movie, like biggest budget of all time, because Nicholson was like outrageous with the money that he wanted. He's like, I'm not coming back unless it's like fucking, like,
yeah,
billions. Like, and they were like, yeah, we'll pay it. It's like, because I guess you can't just put someone in Joker makeup, But so yeah, Scarecrow. Thank God Schumacher didn't get his hands on him. It would have been cool to see what Tim Burton would have done with him, though.
No.
So yeah, then on to the top 10. So
and we've only 15 minutes left. So
okay, I'll speed it. So,
I'm not rushing.
Yeah, no. Thanos.
10 Thanos. Okay, we've talked him to death already.
Yeah,
dead. See what it did there? Dead.
Yeah. Hey. 9 would have to be. I'm trying to think now of my remaining ones and who I like most out of them. 9 would be Sabretooth.
Nice, Victor Creed.
Yeah. Then going on to number 8. Probably Sandman. Yeah, that would be Sandman.
Oh, that's a great choice as well. Yeah.
I really like Sandman. And then
Anakin Skywalker hates him.
He's rough, he's coarse, he gets everywhere. Then number 7, I would say, let me think on this one now. Yeah, 7 would be Venom. I was always a big fan of Venom.
I thought of picking him, but I more see him as an anti-hero now.
Yeah.
Than a villain.
Yeah.
Like even in the comics, Brock has never been a bad guy per se.
Yeah, he's
just insanely jealous of Spider-Man.
Yeah. Number 6 then would be Darkseid. who's the DC Universe Thanos. That's what he is.
Oh, you would just insulted a load of DC fans there. They would say Thanos is the Marvel dark side.
Yeah, obviously Darkseid came first, but you know, Marvel made more people give a shit about it. So,
yeah, I think like DC missed a massive trick there, like with the Snyderverse.
Yeah.
But Darkseid is awesome as well. Has to be said, like.
Yeah, number 5 then, he's fucking right behind you there, Galactus. Good God, Galactus. Oh my God. The fucking comic where Captain America punches him in the face I remember reading that and I was like, I love you, Steve Rogers. I was like, I remember seeing Fantastic Four Silver Surfer and being like, what the fuck is that thing? I was like, that is not Galactus. I was like, Galactus is a big dumb helmet and it's cool and it's dumb and I love it. Then the final 4. So number 4, you mentioned him, Magneto. Gotta love him. Yeah. Number 3, Kraven the Hunter.
Nice.
Kraven's
Last Hunt. My
God. Probably my all-time favorite comic book, I would say.
Just the visual of Spider-Man's hand coming out of the grave.
Yeah. Kraven's Last Hunt is fucking phenomenal. And everything I've ever seen Kraven in, I just think especially the fact that, like, I know in some comics he's got powers, but in his original run, he's just a dude. He's just a guy who's really good at hunting, and he has nothing against Spider-Man. He just sees him, he's like, I want that on my trophy. What?
Like, isn't there a version of Kraven as well, like, that takes like special like serum or something before he goes hunting?
He injects symbiote into him.
Something like that, yeah.
And he, in the Ultimate comics, I believe.
Oh yeah, the Ultimates are fucking batshit altogether.
Yeah, and then number 2, we've already spoken about him, the Green Goblin. Absolutely love him. I've already spoken him to death.
Defoe for a good foe.
Yeah, Defoe for a good foe. And then number 1, we've already spoken about him to death as well. It's obvious, it's the Joker.
Nice.
I remember whenever I'm talking to people about this, people are like, oh, but Green Goblin and the Joker, they're just the same. And I'm like, no,
they're not.
They're not. It's like, they're completely different. Do they both laugh a lot? Yes. Do they have creepy grins? Yes. That's about it. It's like,
yeah, they are fucking nothing alike.
No.
Yeah. Before we go on, I just want to read the comments, catch up on them or whatever. How far back did I go? Okay. So Damien says Jameson releasing Scorpion would work. Jonathan says Jamie Foxx. Oh yay, that won't suck again.
Yeah, not great casting, but hopefully. I think Marvel are giving him a second chance for a reason. You know, I don't think it's like just because he was in the Amazing Spider-Man. I think it's more. I
think he'll do better.
Yeah, definitely.
Monkey Jeebus says Venom Cecil, the only good thing about Peter Parker is Uncle Ben. Damien says, don't care what anyone says, I really liked Amazing Spider-Man 2 soundtrack was fab. Yeah, like, I loved the first one. I didn't love the Lizard, but I think they got carried away with setting up stuff that was never going to happen in the second one.
You know, I'll always say to each their own with opinions on movies and stuff, because everyone's got, you know, their what they like and what they don't, you know. But yeah, I don't know, Amazing Spider-Man 2, it just didn't do it for me. You know, it was just kind of, see, Amazing Spider-Man 1 didn't really do it for me either, but that's because I was big fucking Raimi head. Like, even like, you know, even I still do to this day. I like Spider-Man 3. I think it's the weakest in the trilogy. I know it's stupid, but I can't help it. You know, I just love fucking the whole Raimi. I love how over the top it is. It's more like a nostalgia thing, kind of. If you get me. You know, I like it. I didn't mind Amazing Spider-Man 1. I was like, that was pretty good, you know. Amazing Spider-Man 2, though, there, like you said, it was just too much setup, and I was like, can we not just focus on the movie we're in right now?
Like,
that being said, best thing to happen was Spider-Man going back to the MCU, because I love Homecoming. Far From Home is a fucking masterpiece. You know, I don't think anything's ever going to come close to Raimi's Spider-Man 2.
That's the perfect one for me.
Yeah, it's the perfect one.
Bar one thing.
Yeah.
Tom Maguire's face.
Yeah.
I can't stand Tom Maguire, but like you said, though, each to their own.
Yeah.
I think with Amazing Spider-Man 2, it had its own like jump the shark moment, like Spider-Man 3 had when Electro started playing musical chairs with the pylons.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like that, it was like there was just way too much going on, which is my big fear about No Way Home, because they're all like, we've learned our mistakes about, you know, Spider-Man 3 had too many villains, you know, too much going on. Amazing Spider-Man 2 had too much going on, and they're like, so in Spider-Man 3, the multiverse, it's like, guys, have you learned anything? It's like, please.
Well, to be fair, they did like, I know it's an animation, but they did Into the Spider-Verse, and that was fine.
Yeah.
So
Spider-Verse was brilliant.
I
really like
Damien says Mysterio is my number one. I don't think he's out of the MCU yet. Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
Not a chance. There's no way.
And he said, I would have liked to have seen Mad Hatter in the Nolan verse. Jonathan said, Marvel made a more interesting character when they copied Darkseid in Thanos. Damien says, I'll give a shout out to Spider-Man's original villain, Chameleon needs more appreciation. Yeah, he's a class villain as well. Jonathan says, Ultimate Spider-Man nearly punching Craven's head off the first time they meet due to him thinking they had superpowers was awesome. Like the Ultimates is fucking crazy. If anyone hasn't read that, like Hulk rampaging naked through New York, trying to fucking eat people is next level. Thor is like working for Greenpeace and is an actual like eco warrior as well.
What they do, Fantastic Four as well is just
it's just like, and was it the twins, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are actually like with each other and their brother and sister?
Yeah. Ultimate was weird. It was a weird time.
And funnily enough, like a lot of the movies are based off the Ultimates, even Nick Fury and Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah. So it's like they drop a line in it, it's like, oh, if anyone could play me in a movie, it would definitely be Nick Fury or Samuel L. Jackson.
And funnily enough that you mentioned that as well, because how you mentioned Wanda and Pietro, because in Godzilla they also
I know, yeah.
Which was Godzilla the same summer as Age of Ultron? I think, because
no, it was after it.
It was after it, yeah. Because I remember seeing Godzilla and I was like, "Oh, that's cool to see the two of them." And then they kissed. And I was like, "Ew!" I was like,
"Oh." Davey said Spider-Man 3 was fine too, just needed more time with Sandman. Dropped Venom. Yeah, Venom was purely a studio thing.
Yeah, the studio.
And Raimi left because of that for fourth one, more or less. And less Venom and less emo dancing through the street. Jonathan, Ultimates 1 plus 2, then stop. But because it gets really, really weird then.
Yeah.
But Ultimate Hulk going on the first rampage was due to Betty going for drinks with Robert Downey Jr. Didn't Hank Pym, like, I know he beat his wife, but did he rape her or something as well in one of those, or was that the Hulk as well? I can't remember. Like that was fucked, that whole comic.
Yeah, I think they all were, to be honest with you, there. So
before we go, for any initial thoughts on Loki starting this Wednesday? Wednesdays are the new Fridays.
Injected straight into my veins.
From what I've been reading, early social media like reactions are saying it's the best TV show so far. of the tree.
I think it looks very Doctor Who.
It's very cosmic.
Yeah, it looks kind of like Marvel's answer to, let's do Doctor Who. Let's get a British guy in a suit and he'll travel through time. But no, super excited to see it. I've heard a few interesting fan theories.
Oh no, here we go again.
Yeah, a few interesting fan theories that that like, in the show he'll be made return the stones or something, or even that, like, even though Steve did that, or something like that, because he's going through different timelines, that when Hulk snapped, he did bring Black Widow back, but she's on Vormir. So that apparently there could be a thing it's just a fan theory that in the show Loki's going to get Black Widow and he'll be able to bring her back somehow. But again, that's kind of like, it kind of takes away from the whole death thing. But also I get like that she has her own movie coming out, so clearly they're not done with her.
Like, I saw a funny one the other day. It's like, why is it taking Black Widow so long to come out? And I was like, yeah, it took her 2 years to climb back up that fucking mountain. But like I heard like he's going to meet other versions of himself, like from the comics, Lady Loki, the Kid Loki, and all these kind of things. But like, I think we didn't learn our lesson with WandaVision and then sort of Cap afterwards with the whole whatever your one turned out to be in the end. The rumors take off and they go places you know, like
Mephisto.
Yeah.
Mephisto, he's coming.
It was like even Jonathan said there, have heard a lot of bait and switch type rumors regarding Loki.
Yeah.
I'm just very
enjoy it for what it is, I'm just gonna go in, watch it.
I'm very conflicted about Owen Wilson because I'm not a fan. Being in this movie.
I'm wondering, is he only there for the meme of it? Is that just a thing of, because he's a meme, like he's a big meme online.
Wow.
I wonder, is Marvel only like, just fucking throw him in, have him say what, just have him be like the meme moments of the show. And it's like, I don't know.
But then again, like I do love when actors go outside their comfort zone. So like if he's kind of a serious-ish character, that would be pretty cool as well. Because one, like, you probably know this, one comedy actor who I hate and I cannot stand is Adam Sandler, and he's newer stuff basically. Like obviously the Waterboy and all that is timeless. But,
no, I'm the exact same. I can't stand Adam Sandler.
But have you watched a film called? I know this is stepping outside our usual realm here. But have you watched a film called Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler?
No, and I've been told to watch it, but I just hate the man's face.
I am telling you, Mikey, you will have new appreciation for Adam Sandler.
I hear he's really good in it.
It is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's, how do I even put it? It's one of those movies where you'll be like chewing your fingers watching it. It's the most stressful watch you could ever watch. Because it's all about gambling and stuff like that. Like, but he's fantastic in it. But yeah, back to my original point, I do think Owen Wilson has the potential to be pretty okay. That's all I'm giving him.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think I do think, I think like with everything with Marvel, they got him for a reason,
they know what they're doing.
Like. And it's the same with like how they got Evan Peters to come back to be Quicksilver, but they didn't even do the thing of him. They use it just for a boner joke. It's like they knew exactly what that would stir, and it would make everyone go, "He's Mephisto. He's this. He's that." That's like, nope. He's just a guy called Ralph.
Ralph Boner. Huh?
Ralph Boner.
But so Mikey, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure
coming on. And sometime next week or the week after, come on again when both me and Tubbs are here and we can have a proper banter off and we'll be chatting about Loki next week.
I'd be very happy to join the Culture Cast.
Awesome.
Watch your views rapidly decline.
Also, guys, anyone who's left in the chat, I have a new video coming out in the morning and at 10 o'clock, and it is something really, really different to anything I've done before. So I would appreciate comments and feedbacks on something. It's a little sketch, basically. But I won't delve any more into that. But yeah, it's a kind of a day in the life of the Marvel Legends collector kind of thing. But it's something stupid, and I wanted to try it. And could be something to do going forward.
Exactly.
So yeah, just read some of the comments before I go. Damien says, "Hope an MCU Nightmare will be brilliant new enemy." Colin says, Adam Sandler equals shoot me, apart from Happy Gilmore or the Water Boys. And Jonathan says, "Great show, guys." Mick says, "Great show, lads." And Damien says, "Well done again, all." Yeah, Damien, I'll tell all that he's did well when I meet him. I kid. So yeah, guys, thanks for sticking by and come back next week. And Mikey, thanks once again. You are a motherfucking gem.
No worries.
Later, boys. Bye.
Bye.